Hello, I'm Brother Carter.
And I am... who am I? Okay.
Start over. Hello, I'm Brother Carter.
And I am Val.
And we have a new show called
Tasteful and Toxic.
Coming up when?
Every Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. Check us out.
Tune in. Good morning, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Tasteful and Toxic with Brother Carter. That's Sister Val right here. We got Lady Tierra over here. We have Lady Coach Bree, and we have Sia over here on the show today. So this is going to be a talk about being friends with your ex, part 2.
All right.
God bless you. Abigail, you had something. You ready?
Yes. I'm ready.
Come on. Tell the people.
Okay, so we were talking about like if you're friends with someone of the opposite, we'll just say of the opposite sex for now.
Well, necessarily it don't have to be the opposite sex these days.
Yeah. You're friends with somebody who maybe is like causing a rift in your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say that, right?
Yeah.
I think it's also important as the person in the relationship to be mindful of how you respond to the other person's advances.
Yes.
I always think of the movie Obsessed with Beyonce and Idris Elba.
That was good.
Mm-hmm.
That's
because it's a really good example because he doesn't actually do anything with this woman. He doesn't kiss her. And the second she makes a physical advance to him, he sets the boundary. But leading up to that, and I'm sure y'all have seen the movie, leading up to that, he flirted with the flirting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It, like you said, it fed his ego.
Mm-hmm.
He felt good about it. And he responded in a way that gave her the idea like, oh, I can weasel my way in.
I'm your work wife.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people, they don't want to be that person that's like, oh, I have a girlfriend, I have a boyfriend, I have a wife. Like they don't want to
Pride.
They don't want to be so like, I guess aggressive about it or assertive because they don't want to come across like, because then the other person can be like, oh, well, I wasn't even flirting with you. They don't want to feel like stupid.
And they enjoy it. They enjoy the attention.
They enjoy the attention.
Yeah.
But even that is like crossing a boundary.
Yeah.
Like by feeding into it and letting someone think that they even have the option to come into your relationship.
Wow, that's good. You kind of summed up the show with that, Abigail. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was very good.
Yeah.
Very good. She really just summed up the show. You have a question?
Yeah. So like as far as, because I'm of course obviously a single woman. So
that's not obvious, but anyway.
I'm getting ready to come back for you. She say she's not.
But I'm.
It's coming. It's coming. It's right there.
Okay, right now, today, I'm a single woman.
There.
So I enjoy having friendships with men. Mm-hmm. However, some of the men that I've gotten cool with, maybe from like work, especially being in the military, you work around a lot of guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What are the rules? So like for me, if I'm cool with you, the first thing that I want to know once we've established like, oh, this is my homeboy, I want to meet your wife. And a lot of times those men did not initiate that, so that by the time I met the wife, they're looking at me like, baby, I don't know who you think you are, but you're not his friend. Yeah. And I respect that, right?
Yeah.
But I think that the way that whichever partner handles it can really set up if this feels like a safe... You know what I'm saying? Like a safe situation for me to be comfortable with. So what are the rules as a single woman that might like, I'm not around my brother that much. I'm not around my dad as much. I have a good relationship with him, but I want to have male relationships outside of that. Mm-hmm. So what are the rules in establishing friendships with people that might be attached, whether it's marriage or relationship, so that it's respectful for me on the outside and for the person that's in the relationship?
That's amazing.
But most of the time people don't know that they're forming a relationship when they start talking or becoming friends or whatever, it just start off really innocent in life. And then all of a sudden, go ahead, Valerie, come on, talk.
And I don't want nobody man.
Excuse me.
I'm be very clear about that.
Excuse me. I want to be very clear that, and the onus is never on the person coming on from the outside. The onus is always on the person that's in the relationship.
Yeah.
So
that's tasteful. Okay, go ahead.
That you already know your mate, whether you're the female or the male in it. Mm-hmm. And so gaining a relationship and a friendship, even on any type of level, and you don't have her out or him out front, and you're having intimate and personal conversations, you know exactly what you're doing.
Yep. Yeah.
Why are you having I can care less about what's happening at your house, male, because your house is your house.
Yep.
I'm going to only have because you open that door.
Yeah, but you're a grown woman though. But and everybody ain't as grown. But
again,
that's how stuff happens.
That's how stuff happens. So when you start, let's just say for the immature, when you start, they know you're married. They know you're in a relationship. When the opposite sex, you start, then let's talk about you start having a conversation about your emotional lack or need, there is already a problem.
Yeah. Exactly.
When you start to allow them to have a conversation with you about your emotional
bedroom
need,
and all
or
this
not bedroom, their emotional need. She's always in my ear. She be going off. She be calling. You understand? He be doing this here. You're already allowing them to come in and so that they can set up shop and manipulate.
Yep. To your point, though, I agree. I think it goes back to us as the individual that there has to be some form of boundary, and what you take to that person.
That's right.
That makes a difference.
It does.
So we have to control what that relationship looks like.
And I think a lot of
I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
I think a lot of us that get in relationships, we haven't been taught how to have healthy relationships. And what comes with healthy relationships is communication, transparency, boundaries, and rules.
Yeah.
And so once that is broken, it's because there's a lack of commitment and a lack of respect.
Yeah.
And also it's a lack of what you grew up with. So you've seen, nothing's wrong with this because I seen my uncle do it, or my mama or my daddy them do it. They were still friends. We all hung out. So what you mean we can't be friends? That was unhealthy.
It's something that's taught.
Yes.
What you're saying early on. So we have to begin to unlearn
the
unhealthy communication, especially if you grew up with relationships that are unhealthy.
Yes.
Like you have to begin to form. A lot of the time, we don't even know what a healthy relationship
is. Right. Oh my God.
How do you communicate in a healthy way? You don't know. So now you have to be intentional about, oh my goodness, I should probably
dial that down instead of going off so hard.
Well, as y'all see on Tasteful Toxic, I've turned the pit bulls loose out here today, and they getting in on it.
We did come in on it. My answer
still no.
I also think that we're not taught monogamy is enough.
Oh my God.
And so we need
for the people in the back of the room. No. This is not my show.
No. We have too many. We have too many feelings to learn about monogamy.
What does that mean?
You know what it means. And so let's get to this point. Okay, there are a lot of men out there that have children and moved on to another relationship.
Yeah,
and so there's a lot of women that have children that are trying to date women.
Women or men?
Women. A lot of men that are trying to date women, and they may have children. And that means if they have children, they have a baby daddy.
Yeah.
And so how can we shape and navigate, what can we say to
help them be able to have a cohesive?
Yes, because it's
ain't got to be friends.
It's either, see, the way y'all talk is either or. You gonna choose me or you gonna choose your baby mama or
that's
whatever.
Not what
and it ain't about that.
That's not what we're saying.
All I'm saying is
that's nowhere in this conversation. No, we're not gonna let you get away. That's not what we said. That is not what we said. We never said it's either or.
It gives
but it doesn't. That's what
impression
you heard. That's not
that the man has to choose between you and
we did not say
I got
children's baby mama.
So
on his head,
right?
That is not what we're saying.
Gives the illusion.
That's not what we said.
Because you come off. See how you coming off?
Yeah, because you are coming off that way because you're not hearing
so
what
there
we're
has
saying.
been like a history of like unhealthy dynamics between like current relationship and
I
children's parents,
and
right?
I get it.
Yeah. So I've been in a relationship where there was a child involved, right? One of the things, and we had a very healthy dynamic that happened over time naturally, right? I think one of the things, and it goes back to kind of what Val said earlier, if you're the person that has a child's parent, it's your responsibility to establish a connection between, first of all, vetting to make sure that this person feels comfortable with, or that this is somebody that you even want your child around and that can have a healthy relationship with your child's parent or whatever. But also making those introductions. What I really appreciated that happened in my previous relationship was that over time, and I wish it honestly it happened sooner, there was an introduction of like, hey, this is such and such, such and such, this is such and such. And then we would speak. And if there was a conversation between the two of them, it was on speakerphone, or like it would be, the details of it would be shared with me. So I think that.
And why? It had to be that way.
It didn't have to be that way. That's what naturally happened. I didn't ask for anything. I just kind of, and honestly too, the person that's coming into that situation, it's your responsibility to vet it. Don't just don't even demand anything up front. Just see what's happening naturally. Is this person
healthy for me?
Yeah. And like, are they trying to remove themselves when they're having a conversation with the person? Are they talking a lot? Like, come in and look at what the dynamic is without any interference from you. Is it a situation where I could feel uncomfortable? I don't come in making demands. Like, let me see what the dynamic is. And one of the things that I did in my like, y'all have a very healthy co-parenting relationship. They didn't talk about anything outside of the kid. That's what I came in and observed naturally. I didn't ask for anything. I just came in and watched what happened. So I think that it's on the person who, if you know you got other people involved, when the person comes in to meet you, you're going to also have all of this. It is your responsibility, and that's just what it is. It's your responsibility to make sure that your partner and the parent of your child feels comfortable. You have to make sure that balance is there, and it's on them to make sure that they kind of uphold the respect for the other party.
Yeah, I think it comes back to boundaries, like in general. There has to be, but the thing about boundaries is that we think people just know what the boundary is. You don't just know what the boundary is. It has to be a communicated boundary, and it has to be clear, and then it has to be consistent. You can't just set it one day and then not do it tomorrow. It has to be a consistent effort. So I think to answer your question, it can happen, but there has to be established and communicated boundaries.
And just learning how to have that dialogue, being able to communicate these things out.
Like telling them up front.
Most people just really most people really don't have the capacity to even try to have the conversation.
I get that, but that's again making excuses so that you can continue this dysfunction. And so you can't keep giving passes.
So what do you do, baby?
Well, I'm going to say it. I got you, baby. I got you. Because we trying to help the people. That's what I'm saying. Right. We trying to help the people. You can't keep giving people passes for dysfunction and overlook it and then lying on, well, that's just my baby mama. No, you can't do that. Well, you have a responsibility, not you. The person, whether it's the male or the female, has a responsibility to set the tone and the expectation from the beginning. And do not cross the line. You're not talking about emotional needs, even for her or him at any point. You're only talking about the need, if there are kids involved, the need of the kids. You're not talking about her emotional state or his emotional state at that time. You can't get caught up. Well, this may not be a good. You can't get caught up.
I'm sorry. Can I say something? Really quick?
You gotta wait. You've been talking your off today.
I don't want to forget it. Just one sentence. To Val's point, I think that the boundaries, another important part, they need to be in place before there's another person involved. Like, it shouldn't take you getting in a relationship for you to know, okay, I don't sleep with my baby mama or my baby daddy no more. Those need to be in place before another person even comes in the door.
Right. And you can't take that. And I love you saying that, because here's what you're doing. When you keep giving excuses, you're giving excuses. And I always think about things, and I'm so passionate because I have daughters out there. I have granddaughters out there. I have grandsons. And, and I always think about, you have to stand up for, and I'm so serious about this. You have to set the tone immediately. Early on. Stop making excuses. Stop saying, well, this is just what it is, because what you're doing is you're teaching them to make excuses instead of standing up and being honest and upfront.
And that's what I want to get to. I want to get to this place where we can just be open and honest about what we're doing in a relationship. And when you, like you say, when you got to go in the bedroom or go outside, talk on the phone when you know when it give me a mixed signal.
Yes, exactly.
And people know what they be doing.
They know exactly what they're doing. And let's just talk about, if you don't mind, because because she said trauma, healing from trauma, past trauma.
Lord have mercy. Gail, I didn't mean for the show to keep going like
when you think about it, and some of the things that you've seen growing up with, you really take that into your adulthood, and you really think those things are good, because that's what you see. No,
you come into the relationship saying this is not going to happen in my relationship. That's what you do.
Some people do. No, some people do. No, you bring that in because that's a learned behavior that you think that it's natural. I'm supposed to have these type of. It's supposed to work out. That's unnatural. You're not supposed to be hanging out when you have a whole family over here. You're hanging more out over here. That's unhealthy.
Okay.
It's because they were taught that.
They were taught that.
We're not talking about hanging out. I'm just talking about.
but that's what the young generation.
We need to get to a place where we can at least have a open conversation.
But we're talking about the young
Let me finish. We're talking to the young generation. We're talking to the old generation too.
Okay.
People in general.
Yes.
Okay. There are people out there, a lot of single mamas, a lot of single mamas out there, and men trying to date these single ladies, and they have a baby daddy, maybe in jail right now, but he gonna get out soon, or whatever the case may be, and and that person is still in your life, regardless of what are you saying about relationships and boundaries and all of these different things. That's still that child's father. That's still that child's mother. At some point, we got to get to a place where we can coexist.
Is that friendship to you though?
Because that's not
friendship.
It don't necessarily mean friendship, but just it. Right now we're so toxic about the situation that we can't even have a general conversation.
You need to go to counseling.
about if you
but it's not about their relationship. A lot of times it's toxic because one parent feel like the other parent ain't doing they share.
Yeah. And so the problem becomes
I think the problem.
Okay.
I think the problem.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shut up at this
No,
point.
this is good. That's what this show is
the
like.
problem lies within ourselves.
It does.
And we have our own case of insecurity that we be dealing with all the time. That if you got to go take your kids over to your baby daddy house, and I got an attitude because you finna go over there and take them kids because I don't trust that you gonna go over there and drop the kids off and come on back.
I disagree.
Why?
I disagree because the boundaries wasn't set. Come on, y'all, jump in here.
I'm just giving.
When we get in
relationships, but y'all don't want to see nothing outside of what you're saying. I know where you at.
I think you have a point, right? But it takes for you to get to some emotionally, mentally maturity.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think when each of us go in relationships, we have a picture
Mm-hmm.
and we want to play out that picture. And what happens is the conflict comes because either party probably wants the same thing, but the breakdown in communication.
Yeah.
Okay.
There.
And if the picture is not playing out the way that we want it to, it's going to be a problem.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a shattered picture.
So to your everyone's point, I think it comes down. Sometimes it is about insecurity, but the other time is if you're doing things that kind of feed into that insecurity, like if you're being sneaky or if you're doing something,
and you know that
then
that's
I'm going
affecting.
with you.
Yeah, I'm going there with you.
I'm going too, and we can drop the kids off together.
Because
I think it's both parties. I do think it's ourselves in a lot of ways to check our own insecurities. But if the partner is doing something that triggers that because they can't make you act out, trigger first. Then I see where you're coming from, but I also think that
there's some kind of
and that's all I'm trying to say on Tasteful Toxic. I hope we can just graduate to a place. Graduate to a place.
My answer's still no.
Yeah, I know. I already know because it's difficult. I know it's a difficult.
Well, it's unhealthy.
It's unhealthy. It's difficult. Any word you want to come up, it's toxic. It's a bad situation, But the reality of it all, this situation do exist.
Yeah.
And it exists more than we can ever imagine or think. And so there's a lot of toxicity that take place in these different relationships because of the insecurityness, I'm keep saying, of our own being, that we don't want to let go some things in life. You got to wait. Let me finish my thought. Let me finish my thought, because you gotta. I'm trying to get next to you, but you still, got your baby daddy, and that's it. That's his daddy, and I don't want to take him out of. I don't want to remove him from his life, but I'm insecure because he know things about you that I don't know. He may have been places that I probably never get to, and so I got to deal with that within myself.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is it that the other partner, like the partner that has the baby daddy or the ex or whatever, what is it that they would need to do to make their current partner feel comfortable and safe? Like what does that look like?
What does that say that?
What does that look like? Like what is it? So let's just say, like, just kind of the example. Like, let's say she has another father to one of her kids, right? They have a previous relationship before you ever met her.
Okay.
What is it that she would need to do to make you or the current partner feel more comfortable with their interactions?
She's probably done everything she humanly possibly can do.
Okay.
But it still come down to me. It come down to trust. It come down to believing that we really have a relationship.
But maybe she haven't done anything. No.
Yeah, like what? So if you say she's already done those things, what do those things look like? That's already been done.
She's let me know that that I do have a father for my children, that he is in their lives. And she been.
That's not gonna give you security, because I said I have that. You knew that I had children when we first started talking. So
this is a real thing.
It's a real. No, it's not real. For us.
I was like,
no.
It is a real thing, though.
But I don't have any kids. No, what I'm trying to say is we have to dig deep.
Yeah. Okay.
So what I'm doing with him is digging deep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and so what that really looked like. I've never been in that situation, so I really can't just pinpoint.
That's what I'm saying. You got to listen to someone that's been there.
I know. I already know. That's why we do this show, baby. That's why we do this show. That's why we have different perspectives.
Yes.
Of things on the show. We don't tell no one person what you saying is wrong. Don't make no sense.
Of course.
We're not saying that to nobody, and so y'all stop attacking me.
It don't make no sense. Okay,
but I mean, but yeah,
Tasteful Toxic. You name your show Tasteful Toxic.
It is a crossroad, should I say, when dealing with when you're dealing with outside parties. It's hard. It's a difficult task, and it's something we have to work at. It's something we have.
But I think you have to be, and you guys are the experts. But I do think you have to be honest. You have to be transparent. And I think that a lot of times the reason you can't get past go is because you have in your mind, not you have in your mind how you want to handle things and how you believe things should operate, not considering how it's affecting, because you may think that you're giving off the energy that everything is cool. I'm not interested. This is all I want. Yeah. But you haven't really laid the foundation. You understand?
Yeah.
There is no foundation there. I think what has happened, I think what ends up happening, there's no foundation. So of course those insecurities are going to be there because you haven't done your part, but you're still saying to that.
And that's what I was saying, I think there's a problem with the communication part, trying to make this,
because this
whole thing work. I'm trying to bring y'all both have children for me, and trying to bring y'all two together.
But you can't. That's wrong. No, I'm gonna say that's wrong, because see, you're dancing around the fact. So when you're trying to do something like that, you have to be honest instead of doing these softballs. You understand? No.
What is honesty?
Okay,
then? If I told you
that I have kids by this woman,
Tierra
got a baby for me. I'm gonna call you a predator because that's a baby.
I'm just.
I was like, please stop. No, I just see. Yeah,
and I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying Tierra because she said.
Yeah, I know, baby.
Having y'all two sit down. Together and.
How would you say that?
Yeah. How do you make that work?
Well, Jump in there.
I think when we get into relationships, especially when they're complex,
Mhm.
we got to assess
the situation.
Just come in and watch.
Because a lot of us will get into relationships and we see what it is, but we think we're going to fix it.
And
Yeah.
And so we have to be careful.
Yes.
Mhm.
And
Exactly.
then when they get in there, then they want to say how they want to dictate how it's going to go.
That's what I'm saying. Just come in and see what is the dynamic without me saying a word.
And then I think that you have to see the dynamics, but I also think that you have a responsibility. The person that is bringing someone in and the person that is in
the baby daddy got it.
You have you have a responsibility. If you're in a committed relationship, and I did say committed relationship, to secure your committed relationship and at the same time make it very clear that these are my children. And in order for us to proceed forward, here's how we are going to handle this. You cannot put them on separate sides. We're going to handle that.
But what if every time bring up the children, okay, and I got to deal with you and your attitude about it?
Because you didn't set the boundary.
Wait.
Okay.
And I think this happening more than often that you're in a relationship, you want to try to make this thing work, but you're dealing with the person that you're with being all upset every time you bring up the fact that I need to go see my child over here or whatever.
I think that, like you said, like the security of the individual, but, and again, this is me from personal experience. The person that has the other situation, and it has nothing to do with the other situation, you have to like establish a really firm foundation of the relationship.
Yes.
If someone doesn't feel secure in the relationship in general, and you already have something that's connected to you that could make any person feel uncomfortable, or like, okay, what's going on over there? That is going to be an issue. And a lot of times too, what I found, like even in like what I kind of mentioned earlier with like having male friends that are married, like, hey, I want to meet your wife. Sometimes them wives, it wasn't nothing about me. You did something before I even got here.
Come on now.
And she looking like, you ain't got no friends.
You ain't got no friends.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to establish a trust and a security in the relationship in general.
Yeah, but and to also add to, I think one thing that we lack is communicating with our partner where we feel insecure.
Yes.
Like we have to actually tell our partner, when you do this triggers that.
Right.
Yeah.
And if we're not communicating clearly and effectively with our partners, they're going to do something that hurts you, but they don't know that it's hurting you.
Right.
Or they're going to do
So
something
you're dealing with you're dealing with all the anger and emotions and all
and
that.
it could be something that they carried from a past relationship that they never healed from. So when you do that, it's triggering them. But I think we have to communicate with our partner, hey, I don't really like that you do so and so, or hey, when you do so and so, it triggers this. Now we are responsible for healing that part of us.
Yes.
It's not our partner's responsibility.
She done got all therapeutic on us over here.
Leave it over there. Okay.
So wow. This has been a wonderful show talking about relationships.
This was awesome.
It was more toxic than tasteful today.
It can.
I'm still on toxic.
I'm still on toxic. Yeah.
But hopefully we can get some men on the show to interject with the ladies and give the
I'm tired of battling with the men. Let's get along. Let's come to a common ground.
I think we need to do something on how we can help each other heal.
That part right there. That part right there.
I think healing is
and you know,
I think it's very important.
And then maybe we can get around being sneaky. You know, really,
good. That's real good.
We can avoid being sneaky toward doing something and end up in another situation that we really didn't even open ourselves up to, but it just happened. Okay. So thank y'all for tuning in to another, that a camera is, another episode of Tasteful and Toxic with Brother Carter, Sister Val. We got the lovely ladies, Tierra. We got Bree, Coach Bree, and we have Sia. See you later. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to see y'all later.